is getting us there.
That's a rabbit hole.
Yep.
So, and I still don't know what got me there. It's just like, it's just kind of always been that way.
So you're in the process of learning how you got there and labeling
Self-discovery.
identity. Sure.
So, and then the other side of that is then, you know, as you dig deeper into this, the diagnosis change. And so now it's not just persistent depression, it's PTSD.
Right.
And all the other stuff that comes with that.
That's
so,
right. There's so much more to that.
Yeah. It's usually, and it usually is accompanied by something else all the time. There's always something else with it. So.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think it's powerful to talk a little bit about attachment, what we learn in the way of socialization. So,
I was gonna say the same
I feel like that's kind of where you're going.
You're actually leading. You're
into
going
the
through
next
all the
question.
flowing. I don't even have to ask the question.
So there's this concept in brain chemistry and development that's called mirror neurons, and it's the idea that, like, when I would sit and hold my little infant, who's now in the other room, who's going to be 10 soon, and I would maybe be nursing her, holding her, and I would move my right toe, my infant would move her right toe, and she's mirroring me. And so we learn from a very young age how to be in the world. And so I love my mama, and I hope she doesn't have Facebook Live. Sorry, Mom, I love you because I know you did your best. And I was just telling someone that I have 3 memories of my mom as a kid, 3 consistent memories. And that was doing laundry, sometimes cooking a meal, and taking a nap. So I was raised with a mom who was depressed, and she didn't have a very available spouse, and he wasn't very kind to her, and I'm the youngest of 3 children, and my brother's 11 months older than me, and then I have a brother who's 2.5 years older than me. So I'm pretty sure I got fed, but aside from that, I probably didn't have a lot of mirror neuron experiences, right? That my mom smiled and I smiled, and my mom lifted me up because she was chasing a 2.5-year-old and 11-month-old. Right? And she did her best. So when I then started to raise children, I sucked at the infant years, right? And as soon as they got words, and I was an early word person, and then I would find my adults outside of the house because it was hard for my parents to give me all of what I needed. I noticed those same patterns with my kids. Like, I wanted to sometimes throw my baby infant through a window, and what kept me from not doing that was the resources that I had, a very engaged spouse and father. It's not about me. Right? It's the fact that I had food in the cupboards, and I had a grandma in the basement, and my mother is a really great grandma. So watching her get on the ground with my babies when they were little and play was like, she does that for my babies, so she's kind of doing it for me. And so I think we learn from a young age. We're socialized. We got to hold it in. Especially, again, I wanted to go harken back to folks of color. You got to work twice as hard. You got to be twice as smart. You got to be twice as strong. You got to be twice as all the things to have even a closeness to an experience of equity in this world. And so to then talk about this shit is fucked up because I feel sad and worried and scared, and I've seen some violence, and I get my butt whooped when I was little. You know, it's like, let me just keep going. And keep going.
I know when I was thinking about back to some of the things that brought me to, you know, places of depression, it was like my mom was there and my dad was there early, and then it was the cutoff, and then it was like I went invisible. Not just as a person, but as a Black girl, because it also happens in school, right? And so as an adult, I think the first time that I realized that was really like an affecting part of me was when I went to a Black girls travel event out in Washington, D.C. And it was a room full of Black women. And we all were like, oh my God, it feels so good not to have to explain who we are. We don't have to say, please don't touch my hair. We don't have to say, I'm Black because, or we do this because. There was no ghetto-ness. There was no, it was just us being us. Yeah. And when I realized that, it was like, wow. Like, that has really affected my being and how I show up in the world. And it's a space where not being able to be the total you does something to your psyche.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's no different than when we ask 5-year-olds to show up for pre-K, but nobody looks like them all day but the behavior guy. Yeah. It's the same type of psychological injury. Absolutely.
That's what I'm speaking to. It went all through school, and I didn't realize it until I was an adult in a room full of all Black women.
we could take that and go 10,000 other places with it, especially being a Black woman, and the only time you interact with a Black man during your school years is though he's redirecting you or telling you what to do.
Yes. Some command.
Yes. Oh my gosh!
For something you did not so good.
Right.
So now relationships.
We're putting some tension between a relationship that hasn't even been established yet. Because the next time you have an experience with a Black man later in life, you're going to reflect upon this trauma that you experienced before. So we could take that and go. But so depression.
And all the things.
And all the things that it encompasses.
Unpack it, sister girls.
We're going to unpack it. So we're running a little bit short on time, but there's one question I really want to ask, especially from the two of you. And it is, what do you feel what does the community as a whole need to know? What do you want them to know about depression?
Until we acknowledge that we have these issues, and so many people of color are not willing to acknowledge them or even seek help because nobody wants to be medicated. I went through that, the inconsistency with the medication. Not wanting to be labeled, but I want people to know that you have a say-so in your treatment.
Right.
Like, you don't have to take medicine to feel better. There are other skills you can learn to cope with depression. You don't need pills. You don't necessarily have to. You are in control of your treatment. But we have to acknowledge it and seek it out first.
Speaking of being in control of your treatment, there will be some resources if you go to our YouTube page for Let's Unpack. We'll post resources for you so that you can seek services to help you decide what is your journey should look like. So, Christina, what do you think about for that particular question? What is it that you want the community to really take hold of in this conversation?
I think two things. 1 in 5 children meet criteria for a mental health diagnosis. So that's likely very high for adults as well. So you're not alone. You may feel that way. Give yourselves permission to talk about it with at least one safe person. And most importantly, that you're walking amongst wounded healers. We're all wounded healers.
Yeah.
So be gentle with yourselves.
And then one more question. I know y'all tired of my questions.
So while you're talking about questions, can you let the audience know that they can ask?
Yes. Oh, yes. Anyone who has any questions on this particular topic of any kind, especially while we have our expert therapist in the building, please do feel free to ask. If you have questions after the broadcast on Facebook, you can either Facebook message me or email me, and I will get that question to the appropriate person that will be able to give you a resource or some support.
Ask away. Ask away while we're here.
Yes, while we have the honorable, she's not going to like that I called her Christina Gonzalez.
I have to say, too, ladies, that Michelle Jones said we must wear a constant front. It takes courage to be us.
Yes, good. That's good. Thank you, Michelle. Hey, Michelle. So, how can family members be a better support to folks who are struggling or navigating their depression?
Let me tell y'all something. So I think I posted it on one of my Facebook pages. There's this tweet, and I'm going to say this specifically to Black women. There's this tweet that says, if you've only seen the Black women in your life be strong, it's because you haven't given them the space to be fragile.
Ooh.
Yes, it chills down my spine.
Yes. That's good.
Say that again. Say that one more time.
If you've only seen the Black women in your life be strong, it's because you haven't given them the space to be fragile. We need our space, y'all. We need our space. Yeah. And so family members need to step up. When you see somebody struggling, don't tell them to be strong. Don't tell them you're being dramatic.
Dramatic. I was going to say that one.
I was dramatic my whole life. And I am a little dramatic.
Well, yeah,
but
right.
But give us our space. We need our space. Support your family members. Stop telling them to be strong. Stop telling them to get over it. Stop telling them they'll be fine. Give them authentic support. Listen to them. Because a lot of us aren't listened to.
Right on, Tiff. Thank you. Thank you for that. That's good. Oh, that's good. Wow, that was powerful.
Yeah,
it was really good. That's right.
Wow. What do you think, Christina?
I love what Tiffany said. I say get educated. Do it. Don't get too steeped in Google. One other resource that might not be on the resource is the Crisis Connection. 612-379-6363. If you're feeling really dark and really alone, I've dialed it as a professional and as a human. It's a remarkable number to call it 24 hours a day.
The number again, 612-379-6363.